I mean, consider, his mother died right after he was born. And before that, his father left him. He was raised in an orphanage that, I mean, from what we saw in the sixth book, you know, I wouldn't say that was the most caring place in the world. You know, there's a lot, I mean, and I can understand why. There's a lot of kids there, and it's probably short-staffed, not a lot of money coming in to hire new staff. So you got these few people running around to all the kids. So, you know, there was really no true, you know, affection going for there. And, you know, I don't know a whole lot about orphanages, but I'm guessing that it's pretty similar in all of them. So, no mother, mother dead, no father, father abandons them, raised in an orphanage, illustrating things combined, plus his family history, his ancestry. He's born into a family that has interbred for many generations. So they already have, they're already all kind of little cuckoo. And even though, you know, he actually had a pretty decent father, there's definitely still traces of the, you know, megalomania strain running through him. So, put all those together and you produce Lord Voldemort. So that's the psychology of Lord Voldemort. So what does this have to do with love? Well, because he was never loved, he obviously didn't consider that as a subject that he needed to study. So he didn't. If he had, though, he might have considered some of the things that had brought him down throughout the series. Book 2, you know, or Book 1 actually, no, before Book 1, he might have considered, if he had studied love, he might have considered the possibility that Lily offering to die for Harry might have put that powerful magic in place. And then in Book 5, he might have considered, you know, that possessing Harry would be a very dangerous thing to do, because Harry, you know, has the capability to love. So that's, you know, if he had known that, things might have turned out a lot differently. And like I said before, Voldemort only learned things that benefited him. So we get to Book 7, and we have the Deathly Hallows. The wand, the stone, and the cloak. And I think Dumbledore mentioned this, that Voldemort was only interested in the Hallow that, you know, would have benefited him the most, or so he considered the wand. So he didn't bother to learn about the others. You know, it goes back to, if someone was so smart, I would think that he would have learned anything possible. You know, I would think that he would have gone back to Grindelwald and perhaps trying to found out what he stood for, the Hallows. That's what Grindelwald, you know, that was his whole thing, the Hallows, uniting them. You know, and you know, if he had learned about those, then I think things might have turned out somewhat differently. I'm not sure that he would have gotten, you know, I'm not sure that he would have gotten the cloak at all, just because, or the stone, just because Harry had them. So, you know, maybe things wouldn't have turned out. And I guess Dumbledore also said that, you know, Voldemort would only have been interested in the wand, because with the stone, I think that he probably would have been a lot like Grindelwald wanting the stone. He would have wanted to raise an army of Inferi, Inferi. That's all he would have wanted to do with the stone. And, you know, the cloak, I think that Voldemort is pretty much like Dumbledore, and I respect that. He doesn't need a cloak to get invisible. He can, you know, disillusion himself so powerfully that you're not detecting him. So, you know, I think that if he had known about the Hallows, it might have benefited him to at least try and look for them. so that Harry didn't get them. Um, you know, but I guess I can't blame him for not knowing about them. I mean, not a lot of people do, and those who know something about the symbol of the Hollows, associated with Grindelwald, so they probably want to be associated with that anyway. There's a few people, weirdos like Dumbledore and Lovegood, but Grindelwald. But other than that, I don't think that Voldemort would want to have any association with them except for the wand. Though I think that trying to have found them would, maybe have, benefited him greatly. So Voldemort, the person whose education is not so full, he didn't know about love, and he didn't know about the Hollows. And what else is he? Arrogant. Arrogant in thinking that, that he would win, no matter what. Let's go to the end of the 7th book. He and Harry are facing off, and Harry tells Voldemort that, Snape's not the master of the wand, like Voldemort thought. Draco is. So Voldemort's like, well, I'll deal with Draco later once I've killed you. Harry's like, well, but it's not Draco anymore because I disarmed Draco months ago, so now I am the master of the Elder Wand. And, the legend surrounding the Elder Wand doesn't seem to be exactly secret. It's known as the wand, the unbeatable wand. Did Voldemort perhaps think that just because he had the wand, that Harry would be able to be killed? Shouldn't he have considered something was terribly wrong when he used the wand to kill Harry the first time, and Harry survived? He didn't consider that anything was wrong. And that's where Voldemort is arrogant. These things happen, they don't go right for him, and he never learns from his past experiences. Look, when you try to kill him as a baby, he had 10, 11 years in Albania to think about it, and obviously he didn't. He understood what happened, the actual magical processes of what happened, but he never considered what that meant for him. So that when we get to book 5, he tries and kills Harry again, only to, find that he almost got killed himself. And then, book 7, and by the time we get to book 7, he just hasn't learned anything, I think. Between all 7 years and all of his encounters with Harry, he obviously hasn't learned anything, that there might be something special about Harry, and Dumbledore makes reference to this when Harry speaks to him at the Dream King's Cross, that Voldemort really hasn't learned anything. That, Voldemort thinks that if he alters his methods a little bit, that he might be able to finally beat Harry. Never considering that there may actually be something about Harry that, is different. So, going along with this theme of learning, he never really completes his magical education in learning about love, and then when he comes face to face, with his foe, he learns nothing.